The topic for our presentation today is phishing email classification using Java and ML concepts. The aim of this project is that given any email, our code must be able to predict whether it belongs to the spam or ham class. So firstly, let me give you a brief description of what machine learning and its concepts are. Machine learning is the field of study that gives computers the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. There are various types of machine learning: supervised, unsupervised, semi-supervised, and reinforcement learning. The scope of our project is still supervised learning. In supervised learning, we have a prior knowledge of what our output labels will be. As I have said, what we need to find out is that the given email belongs to the spam or ham class, which is what our labels are. So label or class, they are synonyms, which here are spam or ham. The training data that we feed will include the output label, which is spam or ham. For this, there are two types of concepts that we can use: classification or regression. For this project, we have used classification. Classification is the problem of identifying to which set of categories a new observation belongs based on what training our code has done. So, as we will see earlier, after performing various training and testing on our data set, our code will be finally able to predict for any new observation whether it belongs to the spam or ham class. We have used the naive Bayes classifier for achieving this. Naive Bayes classifier, it works on a Bayes theorem. We all are familiar with Bayes theorem, which works on conditional probability. So in this code, we have calculated the probability of a male being spam or the male being ham, and then whichever class having maximal probability is appraised as the most suitable class for the new observation. Also, the dataset that we have used here is the spam email dataset available on Kaggle. So this is how a spam dataset would look like. Here we have different mails and its label, which is either spam or ham. So what our code must do is that it must be able to correctly and accurately identify whether the new observation or the new email that we will provide to it would belong to which of the class, ham or spam. For this, we have used very basic Java concepts like files, linked hash sets, and also inheritance. So let me give you a brief overview of how our code works. Here we have used files to read our spam and non-spam training data, and also to read the new observation that we will be predicting. Here's our object, which calls the various methods that we have incorporated in our code. We have also used linked hash set. What a linked hash set is that it is used to represent a group of objects, and it is here used to convert the words that we have in our ham or spam dataset into vectors. So we have our read spam method, which is essentially reading the spam email dataset and then training our code to predict for any future observation whether it is predicting that it is spam. And similarly, we have a non-spam method, which is enabling the code to identify that the new prediction would be non-spam. Here's our the new observation that we'll be providing. We are reading it token by token to predict whether it's spam or ham. And then we have a probability class, which uses the naive Bayes classifier to predict whether it belongs to the spam or ham label, and here we just display the result. So this is just a very basic implementation of a phishing mail classifier using the spam or using the knife based classifier. Now let's run our code and check whether it's working right or not. For this, we pick any random email of our spam test folder, copy its location and paste it here for our code to predict which class it belongs to. So here all our spam files are getting read and the non-spam files are getting read, that we are reading through our file here, and at the end of this our code must predict which class it belongs to, and yes, it has correctly printed that the email belongs to the spam class, which is indeed true.
Now I will take over from where Ritu left, and I'll be giving a brief explanation of how we have implemented the algorithm naive based classifier in our code. Now it is a classification technique which is based on the Bayes theorem. In spam detection there are two classes, a spam class and a not spam class. So now let us take a look on our main function. Here we have a folder spam, which is an object of our file class, which will hold all the files from our training dataset of spam emails, and folder non-spam will hold all the files of our training dataset of non-spam emails. String fn1 is a variable which will hold the email which is to be checked whether it is a spam or not. After that, we have just created an object of a class probability and called all the user defined functions. So now we will take a look in the program from the beginning. But first, in order to apply the Bayes theorem, we need to create an ordered list of vocabularies that are present in the mails. So before we apply the Bayes theorem, we need to convert the tokens that we have found in the emails into a vector and map out each number of times that the word has occurred in those folders in our training dataset. Now in the vector form, if suppose a token or a word is present, then the value is set to 1. When the token or the word is not present, the value is set to 0. This vector we have maintained by using a linked hash set. So in the first class is class spam reads, and as the name suggests, it reads all the spam files that are in our training spam folder. So we have read it with the help of the file reader, because file reader reads the text files in its default encoding, and then we have wrapped it in buffer reader. We have read each line by line, and with the help of the string tokenizer class, we have split the string of the line into tokens. Now once we have done with extracting the tokens, we have added it to the hs.addTemp. Now temp contains the tokens, and hs is the object of the linked hash set that was declared above. And as you can see that the comment where it is written creates the vector, it is equal to 1. It means that because of the occurrence of that token, because we have found a token present while we are training our algorithm, we have updated the value with equal to 1. Now system.out.println file name, we have done this just to make sure that all the files in our training dataset folder are being read. This catch block just catches an exception in case we are unable to open the file. Class non-spam reads does exactly the same job, but it reads the non-spam it reads all the files from the non-spam read folder. It reads in exactly the same way with the help of file reader, and then wraps it in buffer reader. Now here what we have done is we have find the probability of the spam number of the spam emails, and we have find the probability of the not spam emails. This is required further in the program where we have implemented the Bayes theorem. So we have done exactly the same job, and we have added it to our list, and we have created a vector and updated the value with 1. Now class IDF, what this class does is that it calculates the occurrence of each token separately in spam and in non-spam. IDF spam, this array, IDF spam array I, what it holds the occurrence of each token in the spam, and IDF non-spam, it holds the occurrence of each token in the non-spam emails. Now in the last step you can see that we are finding the probability of occurrence of each token in spam, and in IDFS array and in IDFN array we are storing the probability of occurrence of each token in not spam. Now class test mail read, now this class will read the user input email which we need to check whether it is spam or not spam. We have read it in the similar way as we have read the above, we have done in the above classes, and we have stored the token in the array queue. After that, in class probability, we have implemented the Bayes theorem. Here what we have done is that first we have calculated the conditional probability first with respect to spam and then with respect to not spam. If Qi is equal to 0, as I have already mentioned above, that when the tokens are present in the vector form, we have kept it as 1, and when it is not present, we have kept it as 0, which is maintained by a list. So now when Qi is equal to 0, it means that the token is not present. So at that time we will take the complement of the probability. So we have done 1 minus the probability. When we have gone to the else part, it means that the token is present. So that time we have taken only the probability. Now the first for loop is for calculating the conditional probability with respect to spam, and the second for loop calculates the conditional probability with respect to not spam. And after that we have applied the Bayes theorem first with respect to spam and then with respect to not spam. And after that, in the void display result, we have checked whose probability is greater, and according to that we have printed the result. So with this we have came to the end of the program, and just for a quick recap, class spam read will read all the tokens from the training dataset spam emails. Class non-spam will read all the tokens from the training dataset of non-spam emails. Class IDF will calculate the occurrence of each token with respect to spam and non-spam separately. Class test mail read will read the email tokens provided by the user or the email which is need to be checked. And after that, class probability will calculate the conditional probability, and finally implement the Bayes theorem. Void display result will show the results. So this is how we will come to the end of the code. An alternative approach for this type of classification could also be done using the KNN or SVM algorithm, and they would be more accurate, but we decided to go with naive Bayes theorem because we are beginners and this is a simple algorithm. And lastly, to conclude, I would like to thank you, sir, that you have given us this project, because for this project only we got an idea, we got an introduction to ML and how to use it in Java. And of course, sir, we apologize that we have not implemented it using any external library. But it's because we tried to implement it using Weka library, but we couldn't really get the idea of how to how to use Weka in our code. But due to this project, we have learned that how to import the database in Weka, as well as how to operate the Weka GUI interface. So that will be at the end. Thank you.